if I DPS is a newer role to me, to begin with. But
Mm-hmm.
mainly it'd be like Soldier or McCree, pretty basic hit scan characters. But Tracer's kind of newer because she's a little more complex. I feel like she's got a lot of utility and she's a lot of fun to play. So that's why I picked her up.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Is did you pick it up because of the mythic skin?
No, so I've been playing her a little bit longer than that. I don't know how long it's been. And this account I have, let me see how many hours I have on her. But my main account, so I got this account to play with like some of my friends who just started playing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on it now. I only have on this account I have 11 hours of Tracer, but I only have 129 hours on the account, which my other account is probably closer to 1,000 hours. I'm not sure how many hours I have on her there, but it's been the start of Overwatch 2. I'd say I probably picked her up.
All right, cool. So you've been messing around with her, trying to learn her by yourself, is it? Or did you look at some guides anywhere or watch some pros gameplay?
Yep. So I've seen like Awkward's unranked to GM. I've seen A10's unranked to GM on Tracer.
Mm-hmm.
I catch a couple of things here and there. Kabaji, I've watched a little bit of. Not a whole lot of him, but that's kind of the extent of what I've seen, though.
Mm-hmm. I think A10's one is really good actually. The one 11 hours was it? The A10's one, A10 one.
Yeah,
I think awkward one is also really good. Um, but right, the things he say is like he makes it seems really simple, but it's not right. And he's like
right.
just use cover, I'm like yeah, but in my opinion, his um the way he maneuvers around during the fight and while multiple people chasing him, I think his skill in that is very unmatched when he's playing Tracer. It just seems like he never dies. You know what I mean? Even when
Right.
he's
I do.
in the thick of it.
It does seem like he oversimplifies his actions, especially with how frequent he is up. Like his uptime on Tracer is really weird, especially if you compare it to like A10, where A10 plays a lot more patient. Um, so his uptime is really high, and he doesn't really explain how he does that. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, but then when you watch Kabaji, there are like times where he just sits and not shoot for like a minute and a half, right? Because he's
Right.
like, okay, soldier's gonna come right here, and then there's no soldier, so he just sits there. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
he does that, right? I would say, how do I put this? Of course, the more uptime, is better. In terms of like the more value you bring to your team, but obviously only as much as you can handle it, right? Because if you think
Right.
about it, if you try to play like awkward, shooting all the time, drawing all the attention to yourself, but if you don't have the awareness or like the mechanics, or like the cover usage to back it up, right? With all the attention on you, you just die,
Yeah.
right?
That's one of the most frustrating things with her is I feel like half the characters in the game, if they look at me wrong, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, a lot of the newer characters, if they don't have mobility, is some survivability. If not, they have everything. Not only that, they just Kiriko, Ilari, two shot Kiriko, one shot. It's just how it is when you play Tracer. I would say in the right comp with your team, she can be really strong. Um, Especially if you have like a Winston on your team, because a Winston can just when he jumps in on someone and then he bubbles, right? You just go into the bubble and just stand there and shoot people. So you're kind of sort of like providing support DPS, if you know what I mean, to who the team wants to focus, right? So I think right now, I feel like right now, with all these updates making it really difficult to play Tracer, you really become more of a support DPS ish role. Um, Especially if you're not really that mechanically good. Like when I say mechanically good, I'm saying like you're like at least like GM1 mechanics or like
Okay.
GM mechanics at the very least. Because right, because like when you're fighting Kiriko, Ilari in the back line, right, you're not gonna kill anyone unless you pretty much one clip them. You know what I mean? So if
Right.
you don't
Right.
have that kind of mechanics, it's difficult, right? But it's doable, right? You gotta compensate in other ways. The very beautiful thing about Tracer is, um, since her kit is so simple, right? They always say the simpler the kit, the higher the skill ceiling because you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want with your kit. You just gotta get really creative in doing what you want or um what you want to achieve, right? You
Okay.
don't even have to damage. Maybe just distract them, right? Not even threaten to kill them, right? And then you make them look, they don't heal their tank die. And if they decide, oh no, this tracer isn't even gonna kill me, right? So I'm gonna ignore this tracer, I'm gonna heal my tank, right? And then if you read the situation and then it's like, oh, now they're ignoring me. Very good. I'm just gonna go in, right? And since now they're not like really trying to dodge my shots, now I go in for the one clip. Now I play more aggressive, kind of thing. So you can even play mind games like this. In fact, for example, in some maps, right, there is only pretty much one spot the Widowmaker can play. Um, so if you can make your way to that spot and threaten to kill her, right, she has to grapple away, right? And just by you being there, well, unless she kills you or force you out of that position, she can't really go to that position that she wants because you're there, right? So without even killing the widow, you just stand there and you just make her a lot more ineffective.
Okay. That's
It's
an interesting way to look at it because I've always thought like you wait for the widow, like where she's gonna be, and then you like blink to her and harass her that way, but maybe even just get predicting the location and being there already.
yeah. I mean, that's true. Exactly. That's what you say. You being there, she goes there, you harass her, maybe you even kill her, but she goes away, right? But when she runs away, when she runs back to her team, you don't chase her and try to one clip her, right? Even like through all the healing where it's so risky, right? Because if you do that, your recall gets forced out, right? Maybe you die to one
Okay.
shots. But instead you just camp at the place where she wants to play, right? And then she cannot play there, right? It's like sort of ineffective for her. And then when the fight really starts and everyone gets distracted, maybe you go in for the kill. So
Okay.
that's one thing you can do. But but I feel like especially if your mechanics are not good enough, there are a lot of other um DPSs that can take head-on fights and win, uh, or like at least match, right? For example, like flankers. If you play Tracer, right? So say you are a phenomenal player on Tracer, sometimes you're gonna meet like a very strong backline, right? And if your team don't do anything, or like your team just keep running away, your tank is feeding, there's not much. There's not too much you can do, especially if you're not a phenomenal, especially if you're not very mechanical. The wait, no, wait. Yeah, okay. Basically, team feeding, you don't really have, you can't really utilize the distraction that your tank is giving you. So you're kind of just sitting there and waiting and watching your team die, right? Sometimes that
Right.
happens when you play Tracer. Whereas if you were Ash, right, you can just tell your team, all right, let's get a Mercy, pocket me, right? I'll carry this tank, you know, out of I'll carry the hell out of this tank in the game, right? Because you get
Okay.
support from your teammate. But even if you're a phenomenal tracer, right, you cannot 1v5, right?
Right.
Well, you
Right.
can, but you burn your resources very quickly. And by resource, I mean recall, blinks, high ground, health, everything. So
Right.
yeah, so it's very different when it's playing like when you're playing Cassidy, Soldier, Ash, where you just sit, you tell Mercy, pocket me, and you just fight everyone. You know what I mean? You can't do that as Tracer. So that's the other downside of Tracer, where sometimes it just feels impossible. All right, let's see. Good. You don't have short-term goal. Short-term goals. You wanna see what you wanna practice. You don't really have a long-term goal. Frustration is insta kill. Okay. So you've been playing FPS shooters for 20 years on and off. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm 33, and one of the first multiplayer game I played was Counter-Strike, like 1.6. So this is before it's even on Steam. That's the start.
Wow. I mean, don't feel too bad about your age. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think age is what slows down your reaction time or anything. I mean, I'm 27. I feel like my reaction time is perfectly fine.
Okay, I just
Um,
noticed like sometimes I'll just watching the kill cam, I just react so slow to things, or even my aim. Like my tracking is good, but it's like a quarter of a second behind or something. That's kind of
well,
where that comes from, I guess.
a quarter of a second is 250 milliseconds. That's like what every human's reaction time is. A little bit on the slow side, a quarter of a second. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I could be off on that, right? But like, it's just like my crosshair. It's like it's tracking where they were, I guess, and when they, jump or do like a movement that, if they're not running in like a straight line and they, strafe spam or something, I just feel like it's slow, and I don't really see that with better players. So, maybe I'm just being too hard on myself, or maybe I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, when I see it, I can see if I can help you fix it, because I don't know if it's the same thing that I've been trying to fix for a very long time. Um, I sort of found a good way to fix it. So let's see if you have the same thing as me. 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Sleep is really important, especially when you're playing Tracer. So when you play Tracer, you have to focus. If you don't focus, if you autopilot, especially if you're not that good, it's just over for you. You die to Hanzo, Rocket, Kiriko, everything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That could be part of the issue too, for sure. I mean,
I mean,
I
yeah.
not sleep so much, but I mean, I do get pretty adequate sleep. I would rather have 8 hours than seven, but for the most part, it's pretty adequate.
Sleep is really important. Actually, I would even recommend before you play, right? Um, like if you're really tired on that day, before you even start to play, just take some time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sit down, breathe, sort of like meditate, and tell
Sure.
yourself, right, I am about to play Overwatch now. I need to engage my mind. I need to realize that this is not a routine. I'm here to practice, right? There's something I need to practice. You know what I mean? Just be present
Yeah.
in terms of
Okay.
when playing during the game, because I feel like 1 to 2 hours daily, right, of comp daily is pretty good. I would say even better than me, because like 1 to 2 hours of quality practice is really important, right? So it's like if you go to the gym, right? It's all about consistency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Consistency and quality. Yeah. Uh, oh, okay. Another thing is, you play most of the time. You play with friends. You usually only play alone 1 to 2 times. Okay. There's one thing about this. Okay. Do you know Spilo?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, good. There was one clip. I don't know if you've seen the clip. There was one clip about Spilo saying the difference between why do I play better with my friends than I play alone? It must be because my teammates suck, or like, or in general, you just feel like you do better when you have friends. Um, do you know the reason for that?
I do. Well, if I were to guess, and if I were to guess, I would think it would be because I know what they're gonna do. Like, um, well, I should re quickly recap before I answer this. So most of my friends are really bad at the game. Like they're newer to Overwatch. They came to Overwatch 2. They're like gold and under. A lot of them are like silver, bronze. Um, but then I do have one friend that is my rank, and I don't play with him as much, but we can read each other pretty well. Like I just like know what he's gonna do, so I can anticipate it. So if I were to guess why he said that, that would be why.
Okay, that's good. That's a pretty good guess. But to make it more um, generalized, if that makes sense, it's
Sure.
basically that you said you know what they're gonna do, right? Okay,
Right.
that's exactly the reason why this happens. So you know what they're gonna do either because you've played with them multiple times that you know their habits, or because in a team environment when you're all in a Discord call, this guy says like, okay, I'm pushing, or like I'm low, or like we're resing, or oh, we got a pick, or like widow behind, right? You know what's
Right.
happening during the fight, right? So like for example, even like during the mid fight, maybe they purple the brick and then everyone starts shouting brick. You know what I mean? Then everyone
Right.
focuses
Right.
the brick. So the key is you know what's happening in the fight or what's happening in the game right now, the flow of the battle. The issue is when you're playing solo, there's nobody to tell you that. You have to use your own eyes to look and assess the situation and decide what's the best what is the word called? What's the best action to take? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So when you
And
play
that's
solo, you sometimes you will feel very lost. You're like, I don't even know what the hell is going on. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and I would say when I'm playing my best, like trying my hardest, it is usually solo. Um, and I don't think I always have an issue knowing what's going on. Even playing with some of my friends, if anything, when I play with my friends, I realize that my awareness is lacking because I will say, you know, I'll make a mistake and die or something and be like, oh, where was everyone? They're like, oh, this and this happened, or like, we were down to maybe, sometimes I miss the kill feed or something. So if anything, it's like my friends definitely point out my lack of awareness.
Well, well, maybe it's not your lack of awareness. Maybe even when you're playing with your friends, because your friends are playing so slow compared to your normal games when you're playing solo, that you don't expect them to be that slow, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
I do
that could
think that. Yeah.
happen. Yeah, that could happen. Right, but that's just like a point to take note. So it's like if you're playing in a team, in like a team, you're really practicing things that you would do in a team, right? Making
Right.
combos, telling each other which angle that he's gonna take, briefly saying what you plan to do. Like if you're playing Tracer, I'm gonna flank, or I'm gonna play you guys here, or like I'm gonna farm my pulse. Let's do a pulse graph combo. You're doing teams. You're practicing things that require a team, right? You don't play in a team to practice. Oh, this game I'm gonna practice my aim. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
That's what you do when you play solo, right? So it's like in a team versus solo environment, you practice different things. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, good. Let's go. Let's hop into the VOD. Wait, is it Rialto?
Yes, it
Wait,
is
no.
Rialto. It is
Oh, this
Rialto.
one. That's
Yep.
mine. This one is yours. Okay. I watched it a bit. Um, very interesting. But I can understand, considering you play soldier. Is it soldier Cassidy?
Yeah, mainly. I don't. It's mainly soldier, if anything, but sometimes I swap to get more burst. But mainly soldier.
All right. You're here, right? Is it a gold lobby?
Gold 2 is my rank on the account I'm playing on.
Okay. You're gold. You're diamond, right? Alt accounting in a gold lobby, right? You're expecting to destroy these guys,
Yeah,
right?
so not really, because that's like I won't touch Tracer on my main account because I know it won't go well. Like I'm trying my hardest on Soldier, and I have dabbled like a couple times with Tracer, and it just doesn't go well. even in this gold lobbies, my confidence is not high. So, even then, I'm still worried I'm gonna let them down, let my team down. So it's my confidence is not high, even in gold 2.
Yeah, but you mean you're diamond, this guy's a gold. You're gonna be expecting like this guy doesn't even have a headphone or like he doesn't have eyes. You know what I mean? Okay, I mean
Yeah.
you can be confident, but okay.
Are you
My
straight? Are
plan.
you streaming it, or are you streaming the VOD, or did you just want to like talk about it, or because
Oh wait. Oh my god, I forgot to stream my Discord. My bad.
no problem.
Thanks for telling me. Alright. So right now, sorry, since you're having issues in Goal 2, I would say we don't care about the enemy team. We don't care about your team. We care only about you. Right?
Sure.
And what I mean by that is I won't really talk about um, oh, okay, since you have a dive tank, you should be playing with your tank and where you should be setting up so you can go on who your tank wants to go on, etc.
Okay.
That's not. I'm not really gonna be talking about that because if you can't even play Tracer in like a very normal way, right? Then thinking about the enemy or even your teammates is just going to be too much for you.
4, 3, 2,
Right. Very nice starting position.
incoming. Stop the payload.
I like this.
Okay.
Are you watching?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. Are you crouched right now?
I don't believe I'm crouched.
Crouch.
Oh, maybe I am.
Not really.
Nope.
Crouch and don't crouch. Crouch. If you're doing this right, you don't want them to know you're here. Right. Crouch and don't move. Right.
Okay.
And no reason to be peeking here. Like no reason to, I feel like if your plan right here is to be able to access their backline when the card is over here and Orisa pushes forward, then I can understand, right? If you're here, to be awkward and constantly shooting, right? That's fine as well, but you can't really stay, right? Considering Reaper will TP to you, there'll be a rocket heading towards your way, there'll be Kiriko Kunai heading towards your way, there'll be a spear heading towards your way, so you cannot stay here, right?
Okay.
So now you see, I feel like they sort of know you're here because you've been walking, you've been peeking, right? Everyone's looking at you, right? So I'm gonna assume that they know you're here. That's why this guy just randomly teleports on you, right? So
Okay.
that's why you die here. So the difference here is if you're here just to sneak onto their backline, then just stay crouched here and be patient. But right here, you're kind of doing something in between. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, do I go into the backline or do I shoot? Like, you know what I mean? If you're not shooting, then why
Right.
are you peeking?
Yeah.
Right.
So like there, I think I'm definitely I'm trying to scout a little bit, get some information. Like, okay, what can I do? But I definitely am torn between do something and being patient. And from what you've been saying, it seems like being patient is definitely the thing to do there.
Well, yes, but you see, it's like if you're Cassidy right now, you want to do a high noon, right? Will you be standing here and peeking? No.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, like I said, either like it just depends on what your plan is. I think it really doesn't matter what your plan is, but you sort of need to pick and stick with a plan, right? So you're peeking, but you're not shooting, right? Or
Right.
you're not shooting, but you're not hiding, right? So it's like you just have to pick one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just, I mean, you could you can ask why is this Reaper just TPing onto me like that? Do I not have teammates? Well, I feel like a lot of times it's up to you, because enemy will do stupid shit and your teammates will not react to stupid shit, you know. So you gotta be aware by yourself.
Sure.
All right, first death, it's fine. All right, fight sort of going on. You lose a healer. All right, now you know Awkward always say when he's doing his unranked GM, constantly shooting, constantly
Yeah.
off angling, constantly distracting. You know, that's what he says, right? Let me ask you,
Yeah.
where do you think would be a good off angle right now?
So I am definitely worried right then. I'm thinking that I died. They got a little aggressive. I just got back, burned all my blinks to get back quickly, and then we lost a healer. And I'm thinking they're gonna push that corner very quickly. And I'm scared to be really anywhere near that corner. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but if I were to go somewhere now, like maybe underneath to the right to poke a little bit. But I know right now I'm very scared that they're gonna wrap around. Their whole team's gonna wrap around that corner soon.
Mm-hmm. So you're scared. You say you're scared to be right around this corner.
Right. Yes.
But I would say instead, you're Tracer, right? If you can see it coming, you'll never die to it. All right. So don't be
Okay.
afraid of this, right? Especially if you have blinks. I'm not saying that right here in this specific situation you should just like go forward here like this and peek the main. But yeah, I'm just in general what I'm just trying to say is um, don't be afraid of the things in the wall. You know, there's nothing in the wall, right? So I mean,
Okay.
sure, yeah.
So like how would you where would you position?
I would say, yeah. I mean, like, fuck, man, my Mora is dead. But whatever, you know, fights going on. My tank's deep inside. You know, like, there's no way he can back out now. So I would just, you know, like you said, I would just go here and poke a bit, right? There's a health pack here you can play. Um, there's a health pack here you can play. Like, just walk up here, maybe shoot. Maybe blink here, shoot. Try to take a tighter angle, right? So you don't have to fight Kiriko and Soldier both at once, and see what happens from there, right?
Okay.
Let's see what you do, right? Because here this is an off angle, right?
Right.
Good. See, good. Don't be afraid. Look, he died. Good. Now don't be afraid. Like, you have 2 blinks and a recall.
Okay.
Right. Who knows? Right. Who knows? As your tank was dying, right? You have your recall and 2 blinks. Like, I told you not to be scared, right? Who knows? You could have killed this Kiriko here, right?
Okay. Right.
Right. And then maybe Junkrat spam randomly kills Life Weaver, and then you have a chance to win this fight, right? So here you're taking good off angle, but even though you have the resources, you didn't go aggressive to try to do something, right? You shot someone here. You shot the soldier, and he died. But what if you realize, oh, I have recall. I can actually do whatever the hell I want, right? Since this Orisa is distracted with my tank anyways, so I just go straight for this Kiriko, right? And she dies. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
All right, good. Tank dead. Back up. Yeah. Now, now fight's over. All right. Well, fight should be over because your tank is dead. But I don't know why this guy is still here. Okay. Anyways, in my mind, fight is over. So when fight is over, as Tracer, you always want to think about where the fight is going to happen next. Where next? All right. And why do we think about that? It's because we want to get access to their backline, right? We want to get on Kiriko. We want to get on Life Weaver. Even if we cannot threaten to kill them, at the very least, we can distract them, right? Or maybe if Reaper is on a flank, I want to like stop him from flanking, challenge him. Maybe if I'm better than him, I can beat him, right? So now here, look, you just burn 2 blinks to get back into the fight when you're supposed to get out of the fight because your tank is dead. Let's see what happens
Sure.
here. Alright.
Take a redo?
Alright, I'm fine with this. Because that's like distraction, right? Because Orisa is in. Right. You distracted Kiriko. Now Orisa is taking a lot of damage. Good, shoot. Okay, now you relax. Right, because everyone's dead in your team. Like we had a good chance there with the ult, but like it's kinda over. Okay, when I say over, I say back up. Doesn't mean like you go back all the way to the spawn, right? Because like right here you see, right? Jungle Queen is still sort of poking and fighting, but she didn't die, right? So that's fine. Because like you're kind of just like building your ults, etc. etc. So
Right.
by not going into the fight, I mean like, just go in like right now. When I say like, for example, right now going in would mean like, I'm here and then I just blink, I shoot this guy, and then I blink and I shoot this guy, that would be going in. But if you have cover here and then you poke a bit, because now it's like the pre-fight phase, you poke
Sure.
a bit, that's fine. But once again, we actually want to access their backline. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that's 1 clip into Orisa. 2. Okay, good. You realize, like, you can really just go in deeper. Like here, you have pulse form. Just yeet it on him, right? If he gets Suzu, then he just gets Suzu. It's not like sometimes you just gotta do it.
Okay.
And since right now you actually have recall, you can actually get really aggressive right now because I can tell you what can happen right now. Right, Kiriko altered. Right, Orisa is getting buffed by Kiriko. She's feeling really good. She's like, oh my god, I'm so fast. I want to push. Right, and Kiriko is like, let's go. We're gonna capture this point. I used my ult. Right, and this is when everyone is distracted, like 3 people maybe, and you just get on this guy, like 1 blink here, start shooting him. Right, if he's on battle platform, then you're like, okay, man, fuck you, whatever. Right, then you just blink to this guy. And you just give him either you give him the pulse bomb or you start shooting him.
Okay.
Right. Because you have recall. Right? And when you
Right.
don't have, you can play a bit more safe.
Okay.
What I mean by a bit more safe is like maybe you don't engage from this angle. Maybe you don't engage from this angle. Or you recall back. You're sort of like here. You shoot a bit, you take this health pack, and then if he stops looking at you or people stop looking at you, or if you have like 2 blink, 1 blink to get close, shoot, and then another blink to get to a better cover, and you continue shooting, right?
Okay.
Because the fight is going on right now. Now it's mid-fight, right? Mid-fight is
Right.
where you can do a lot as Tracer, especially if nobody is focusing you. See? Good, nice try. Right, she used Suzu anyways. Right. I don't think it was
Okay.
gonna hit, but she used Suzu anyways. Right. So good try. Right. Yeah. I mean, if there's anything more you can do, I would say stick Life Weaver, 1 clip Kiriko. That's probably the best you can do there. But
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
your tank was gonna die because like they had the Kiriko ult.
Thanks, love.
Now, pre-fight, predict where the next fight is going to be and think about where you want to be next, right? So say for example, the payload is gonna reach around here, and we're gonna be able to start fighting. So if you're Tracer, you can be here if you want to. I mean, you can be here, you can be down here, but you know, up here is always nicer. But since there is this Farah right here, right, you can't really go there, so you can just fight her off without putting yourself in the risk of dying. Because if you die, then you're gonna stagger yourself. This one, really careful. Look at this rocket flying right at your face. If it's damage boosted, it's over. Good. Watch out, there's a Farah behind you. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, as Tracer, you have to be aware of these kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good try, but this is good try, but if as you gain more awareness, you realize that actually the fight is not going on. Not really. Okay. The fight Orisa is a bit too forward, but actually the fight isn't. This should be still in a pretty much a pre-fight phase, where Kiriko and Life Weaver is not gonna be in any kind of pressure, right? So whoever that gets low, this Reaper for example, he's gonna get healed instantly, and you're not gonna be able to kill him, right? Unless they're just AFK on payload.
Yeah, I think I
But,
catch
you know,
that
you-
mistake right away.
Again,
I catch that mistake right away because I see it and I'm gone.
yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, wasted recall, I guess. But
I mean, it's okay to try like this sometimes, but at some point you have to realize that, right, two supports, not in any kind of pressure, he's gonna get healed instantly, and then you wouldn't have to burn your recall.
sure.
But now you see, like, when you don't have to drop down here, you want to get
Okay.
back to where you were. Like here, you say, you drop back down here. Like, what if even after you recall, you sort of just stayed up here, right? Because you realize that with the payload being here, this is where your fastest way to the enemy backline is, right? So instead of just dropping down here, right, and then sitting here because you have no recall, you can just sit here, right? Who knows, right? Maybe the Reaper sees you and you shoot him, and he decides not to use his ult, right? Or he decides to ult anyways, and because you shoot him, right, he would die right now. He'll be dead, right? And
Right.
maybe you're here, right, after you kill the Reaper, Farah is what's that word called? Farah is ulting.
Barrage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farah is ulting and you just kill her, right? Or you just ignore them and go for the backline, right? And you go for backline now, and they are distracted with you. And
Yeah, I think-
Junkrat.
Yeah.
And
I definitely
and-
think
mhm,
staying up high and poking the back line
mhm,
would have
mhm.
been, you know, good play there.
Yeah, and Reaper dies here, right? Right. Now, because this Junkrat is distracting both the healers, that's why this Reaper is not really getting healed. But you get the idea, right? Plan the next fight, or like predict where the fight will happen next fight, be where you want to be in order to quickly access their backline, and that's where you go.
So can I just say one thing? This particular fight, it felt very difficult to set up, like to predict where the next fight would be, because that Orisa is like you made a comment that she's like kind of a little overextended, and she was just always like light years ahead, just dominating my team. And so we're like every time I would think the fight's gonna be here,
Mm-hmm.
like engage with my team. I know as Tracer you don't want to be the first one to engage, and you want to be, you know, the last person they're looking at. But it was definitely, I mean, you see it still where the Orisa is at this corner, and then their team's like their entire team is behind, I guess, besides the Farah, but they're behind the next corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So like you even noticed it, right? The Orisa is pretty overextended most of the times, right? So that should be a mistake from her, right? So it is a mistake, in my opinion. And the way you as a tracer punish that mistake, right, is not by shooting Orisa. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's by getting to her backline. You know what I mean? If she's gold and she has that helicopter thing and she has two healers pocketing her, you're not gonna kill her, no matter how overextended she is. Or
Okay.
unless you have like a Zen or a Ana nade, or even how do I put this? As Tracer is just very difficult to kill an Orisa that even receives any form of healing. Right.
Okay.
So she can get low and then she'll just back up a bit and then she'll just get healed up to full. Right.
Okay.
And that's like here, like even here, you're backing all the way. You just use 2 blinks to move all the way back because you got spooked by the spear from Orisa, and now you're here. Whereas,
Okay.
whereas as Tracer, where do you want to be right now? Right,
I
maybe
definitely
here.
want to be in the back line. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe here. Right, maybe here. Right, with your Junkrat. Right, but instead you're here. Right. So there's another tip from Hydron, I think an Overwatch League player, from a
Yeah.
video and Spilo. He said 90% of the times as Tracer, blinking forward is the right play. Right. The reason is right. You know, Tracer, you have 3 blinks. Okay, I mean, your Tracer, your blinks are your resources, right? For every blink you blink backwards, you need to compensate it by walking forwards or blinking forwards, right? Blinking forwards wastes 1 blink, walking forwards wastes time, right?
Okay.
Okay, so instead of blinking backwards, you can blink to a side or an angle that is safer, off angle that is safer, right? Let's say just now you were here. Okay, let's see. Okay, when did you guys speared? Okay, okay, right, right here. Instead of blinking backwards here like this, all the way here. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you think you can blink to while still being able to do something?
Well, my first like instinct, like looking at my point of view, would to blink directly behind Arissa in that upper corner, but really, like I think they would just push me, and I would have no resources because I just use recall. So maybe blinking to the right, kind of on the bricks by the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Right. You're here. Right. Walk a bit. Blink here. Shoot, 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 shoot. Reload. Shoot, 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 shoot. Now maybe you have regenerated 1 blink, so maybe you have 2 blinks. Maybe you wanna get closer to this Pharah to shoot her. Maybe you blink here. You shoot the Pharah while taking cover from Orisa. Right. Maybe Pharah lands a rocket to you. Take a healing pack here. Right. And then you go back to shooting. Right. So by choosing to go this side instead, you can continue shooting instead of going backwards twice with your blink and end up doing nothing for the next 8 seconds. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Okay, good.
More uptime.
Yeah, more uptime. Like you see, right now you're not really doing anything. And now look, now you are where you want to be, except you have no blinks.
Yeah. Right.
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 And so look, now you're here, right? You could have 3 blinks. Well, no, but now you're here, but you don't really have blinks. Whereas you could have been here with 3 blinks.
Right.
Right. Or maybe here. I don't know. Basically,
That's
just
a
not
better
in the back.
position.
Yeah, better position, more resource. Watch out, okay. This is fine. No backwards. Look what you can do. Look what you can do, right?
So
Like
even
this.
so, so my thought is like my team's getting pressured, they're moving back, like, and I don't want to get caught. I don't want to be the only guy that gets caught and dies first. But you still, even you think that I could just stay back there. I guess
Okay.
I could get a health pack or go further back.
Okay. Well, I feel like it's more of what are you gonna do, right? How can you turn this fight around if you're spending 3 blinks to get all the way back here?
Yeah, no, right. Nothing.
You know what I mean?
I'm just looking at Orisa then.
Yeah. And Orisa's not gonna die. And
Right.
you don't have resource to access the backline. You know what I mean? It's more
Right.
of what can you do because you're here, right? But whereas if you're here, at the very least, right, if you're saying this Orisa is overextending a lot, okay, good. Then maybe you're just, you drop down here, you take your health pack, you shoot, you distract both the healers, and you play your life, right? Don't try to kill them. Just play your life and distract them as much as possible. And who knows, the Orisa will take a lot of damage because she's heavily overextended and die.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. No, I think that could have been a play for sure.
Yeah. That could have been a play, but it doesn't have to be the absolute best play, but it's better than this, right? Going back 3 times, shoot an Orisa that's never gonna die.
Okay.
Yeah. Now look. Just start look. And now I don't have recall. Oh, I'm low. Oh
Yep.
shit. Oh shit. Like look at this. Like imagine if you're really good, pretty good in distracting enemies running around. Right. There's one health pack here to play, there's one health pack here to play. You have your recall, just constantly distracting them. Right. Because even if you can't kill them, just distract them. Distract them is better than being here, right, with the risk of getting speared, with the risk of getting hit by Kiriko kunais and Farah primary. Right here you're shooting Orisa, but you're not really relieving. You're not really away. You're not really helping taking pressure away from your team. Okay. Nice try. Doesn't matter. It forced out Suzu. Maybe someone will die because of that. Oh. Right, look, I'm happier you doing this than blinking backwards.
Yeah.
Look, there's 3 people on card and you're just stalling it and they don't realize it. No. Don't. Just one blink. And you stand here and you see, oh, is he chasing me? You chasing me? Alright, now I'm back to this corner. Right, but now you have to watch out for this Orisa. Is she looking at me? No, she's not looking at me. Did this guy stop chasing me? Right, he stopped chasing me. Maybe I can go back and shoot him and start distracting again.
Okay.
Right. Instead of, oh no, I have to go all the way back. Alright. No, I mean, interesting. She doesn't get Susu, she doesn't get healed, she doesn't get pulled. Okay. Backline. Look, there are supports who were running away and Farah gets low. So if you distract them enough, someone will die.
Okay.
And look, this is a decent position, right? Sometimes there will be scenarios where you just can't really access the backline, like right here, right? You can poke this Kiriko, but it's kind of dangerous, right? There's a Pharah on your head. There is a Reaper in the back here that's gonna see you shooting a Kiriko, right? And she's gonna heal anyways. So if you feel like this is too high of a risk, and by too high a risk, I mean like you feel like with your mechanics you cannot survive being here and poking them, I'm fine with you just taking like a very safe, pretty safe angle, like here for example, and shoot Orisa. I mean this is not really safe. There's a Pharah on your head.
Yeah.
Shoot Orisa or just like take cover from everyone and then just shoot this Pharah instead and mess with her instead. Look, if you were still distracting their supports on the backline just now, I feel like the Orisa would have been dead.
Okay.
You see how low she got? Right, let's see here. Like you see here, I feel like this recall and this blinks here, you weren't sure what you're going to do.
So I think I felt pressure, turned around and blinked into the wall. And because I blinked into the wall, I got scared that I was gonna get shot running into a wall. So I panic recalled.
But if you just think like this, right? I'm in safe position, right? I want to use my recall to distract someone. Alright? Double blink, shoot half a clip, blink one more time, finish your clip, I don't kill her, whatever, I recall. I get back into a safer position. Right? But what happened here was you blink once, you blink twice, and then you shoot, and then you're like, wait a second, wait, I blink backwards, oh, I'm kind of low, then I recall back here. And I have to use one blink to get back here. So I would say, right, just think of it like this. If you want to be here, this is a dangerous position. You could almost say, this is a dangerous position. So I don't want to stay here for long, right? I want to get in, get out. If I get in, how do I get out? Either I use my blink or I use my recall, right? And I get back to a safer position, right? Thinking like this, I feel like prevents, what just happened. It's like you blink once, you blink twice, like you realize you fuck up, but you kind of realize it a bit late, and then you run away, and then you're like, oh man, now I'm low, I kind of want to recall, and then you recall back in front of the enemy.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Just be like more sure of what you want to do.
Okay.
Right. I want to go in, deal a lot of damage, get out, and I recall. I go back to my team. Yeah. Because just now, right, that was really dangerous. Also here. Yeah. If you're distracting both the healers, you wouldn't be getting healed right now, actually. I mean, higher chance for you to kill her. Nice stick, but you don't know that he doesn't have Wraith, so
Yeah.
you could have used it here on the graph. Like here? Right. Like here, I would be here fighting Pharah, but in my mind I would be, okay, this is kind of a dangerous position. The moment I get low, I'm just recall and I get out. Right. But instead, you're like, I got low, and then you blink, and then you're like, I'm kind of low. Then I'll recall. Then you waste one extra blink.
Okay.
But let me see if you... Could it be it happened at the same time? Let's see. Low. Yeah, but I mean, just it's like a different way of thinking.
Sure.
Okay, health pack. Okay, your 180s are really interesting.
Yeah.
Let me watch that again.
I don't even know what I did there. I think I landed on a couch and was up high or something.
Okay. Right, now you have no recall. Like here it's already dangerous. I will just double blink out. I do not fuck with the Kiriko. Right, if you play with fire, you will die. Especially now you don't have recall. Right, in higher level they will hit their shots. But say if you just want to take because she's a Go player, if you want to take this fight. Okay, good. Blink 180. Okay, you lost her. Okay. I think you just need to be a bit more clean with your 180s and realizing where you're gonna blink to. Right, you get rest. Everyone's dying. If you can stall a bit. No. Health pack? No. Never mind. Okay. Let's go. Right, do you have any questions so far?
No.
No? Okay.
Nope. Everything's pretty clear so far.
You are defending or wait?
We're attacking here.
Attacking, okay. Look, that was good. Right. Diva goes in on Bastion. You go in. You shoot Bastion. Oh man, he can't die. I'm kind of in a dangerous spot. You recall, you get out. Now this is slightly risky. Right.
Okay.
I would just use one. I'll just use one blink to get here. And maybe like stand on this ledge, see what's up. As a Kiriko there, I'm not going. Especially if I don't have my recall. Right. Now this is really risky. Like look at this. Look at who can kill you. This guy. One whatever that thing's called. Dead.
Yeah.
This guy, that thing that bounces on walls, dead. This person turns around, gives you a headshot, dead. Especially if you don't have your recall. You don't want to be here. Good, you get out. Here, like the way you're playing here is really dangerous. But as you play more and more Tracer, you will sort of have your own rollouts. But it's not really a rollout, but it's like a path you want to take as you're getting into the backline or when you're fighting. For me personally, I like to just start here. Right, I like to just start here. Right, then I can see what the tank is. Right. And now I'll come back here. Maybe shoot the tank a bit. If I get low, there's a health pack here. Come here, shoot a bit. I'll have to watch out if anyone like is in high ground here or high ground here if they can kill me, but I won't stay long. I'll just shoot the tank a bit, and then I'll blink here. Continue shooting the tank. Maybe I'll blink here, clear this out. Maybe I come up here, right? And then I walk these stairs here. I come up here. And then I have access to the back line, right? Maybe if the fight is really going on deep, right? Maybe I drop here, right? I fight. I don't have my maybe I get forced my recall. I recall back up here, right? And then maybe I drop down here, right? Now I don't have my recall, so I shoot. I drop down here as I'm dropping. I'm shooting. Then I blink backwards. I take this health pack. I come back up here. Now I'm up here again. Then I blink across here. Now I'm up here again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
no, that makes sense.
It's like learning how to use the map, right? Instead of, here. Right. You're looking at this Orisa, right? You don't see this Junkrat. You don't see this Bastion. You don't see this, I don't know. Basically, if you're staring at the Orisa, there's a high chance you won't see anyone, right? Because she's just putting bullets in your face, right? You're gonna die to everything, right? Like this is so much more riskier than just like here, right? But if you're here shooting the Orisa, you have to really watch out and see who's here, right? If there's an Ashe here or a Widow here, then you cannot be, you can't stay there for long. So here the thing to learn is like different ways to play different maps. Okay, good. Right, like now you can fight this Kiriko. You can fight this Kiriko if you want to, but you're gonna have to use your recall because if you look at this, right, Life Weaver, because Kiriko is here, Life Weaver can't really heal Kiriko, but yeah. See? Yeah. Okay, then just get out. Get out. Okay. Hey, not too bad, right? You gotta shoot someone. Now this is not your fault, you know what I mean? It's just the undead Orisa. Okay, let's see what you do next. There it is. All the spam. Your tank is flanking for some reason.
I was gonna take that flank, and I don't know why she was doing it. I'm just like, okay, I'll try it.
Since they're so slow to react, you can just engage their supports right here. Like when I say slow to react is if people are realizing you're coming this way, higher rank supports will just start rotating. Maybe Life Weaver will be up here. Or Anna, if they have an Anna, maybe the Anna will be here, or the Kiriko will be up there on the high ground. Here I think they're just slow to react to your rotation. But yeah, like, you know, since you're here, right, look at this. The fight starts, you're close to the back line, you're able to engage the back line with 3 blinks and recall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you have all the resource to you, you know? Look, you blink around her, she's like, oh my god, it's a tracer, I have to run away. And now, since she used Suzu, maybe you can try it for a pulse. Okay. Nice try. But yeah. That was kind of a weird fight, because...
It was a little weird. I thought they would have been there. I thought they would have rotated already, but they didn't. Just, you know, when the tank goes missing, I think they would have seen that, but...
Yeah, but they didn't, right? So, when they didn't, if you're the better player, it's up to you to punish them. I think you did okay. Maybe just take more cover. Just now, like just if you want to pulse bomb, just blink in, going for the pulse, and then maybe recall out or blink out. And then when trying to shoot someone, just try to, like, you know, for example, say you're Cassidy, right? If you want to shoot Junkrat, right, you stand here and shoot Junkrat, right? You don't like stand here and shoot Junkrat, for example, because now Life Weaver can shoot you, Junkrat can shoot you. Basically, limit the amount of people that can see you or you can die to.
Sure.
Just play better cover. Like this. This is good. Like if you distract him enough here and he stays here, eventually your team is gonna come in front and he will die. Distract him. Distract him. Okay. Oh, Suzu. Like here, you see. Now, when I play this map, when I'm fighting here, right, I wouldn't really just go forward here and get my recall forced out. If I mess up the Junkrat kill, I'll just let him go. And then I'll just come up here.
Okay.
Right, look. Come up here, you regenerate your blinks. Just drop down here. Boom. 3 blinks, 1 recall. And you surprise them.
Okay.
Right, you shoot this guy, he's not gonna die. Right, look. Like, this guy, he doesn't get healed and he's half HP. Right. He's isolated from his teammate, could have killed him. Like here, this is good, except it's too late. Right, it's too late because they used ults and your teammates lost. Because you guys didn't have ults to counter their ults. So right, that was... Yeah.
It is what it is what you're saying.
I mean, it is what it is, but only because you did the distraction late.
Okay.
If you did it earlier, you could have gotten a pick before they used their ults, for
Okay.
example. Alright. We pretty much have only one fight left and maybe one overtime. Yeah,
60 seconds.
you don't have to go their way. Okay, okay, good. Look at them. There is a bastion. Pulse, nice. I didn't need to recall there. You can just grab a health pack.
Okay.
Good. Okay. You watch out. You don't have recall. Decent cover usage. Shoot the healer. Right. Shoot the healer. Right. Here, if he is like far away, and it's just like, okay, well, goodbye. You know, and just fight this Kiriko. Just look at this right now. Right. Right. You're trying to fight him. Right, not only trying to kill this guy puts you in a very dangerous spot. Right, that guy is not a healer, and he's getting healed. You're not gonna kill him. Right.
Okay.
If you start like this is what could happen if you started shooting the Kiriko right now. Okay, you start shooting the Kiriko. Right, Kiriko turns and fight you. Life Weaver starts healing the Kiriko because you know from his point of view he's like, oh look. Tracer in the back trying to kill my Kiriko. I need to help him. I need to help Kiriko. Right. Except this junk. Look where he is. He's gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Instead of getting healed. So I would have taken both supports off of the half HP Junkrat.
Yeah.
Ideally.
30 seconds.
Sometimes, another thing to think about sometimes is like, this is a Junkrat, right? Do you really want to fight a Junkrat in this room? Not really,
No.
right?
No.
So sometimes, there are moments like this where you just have to give it to him. Like, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna waste my time with this guy, right? Maybe you just blink across to like somewhere else. Maybe you wouldn't be here if you took the flank up here, or if you don't bother with him, but you still want to watch the flank because he can kill your teammates really quickly, right? Then you just stay with your team right now here, to shoot whoever, right? I don't know if this Kiriko just TP'd. It looks like she just TP'd. Yep. Right. Who knows? Right. Instead of shooting this Junkrat, another opening opens up. Like, for example, this Kiriko here. Right. While the Orisa is getting pulled away, there's a Kiriko with no TP and Suzu here. So here I would say it's just a not very efficient way of getting to their backline. Like, you
Okay.
have the idea of getting to their backline, but it's not a very efficient way. Like, look. Like, you're trying to jiggle pick him, right? But he's not only he's better at jiggle picking you, right? Because he's like he shoots one time, it's like 100 damage, right?
Right.
And he's spamming. Yeah.
Yeah, bad fight.
Yeah, so here just, yeah, sometimes just give it to him. Or if you want to learn anything, just say, okay, maybe if I were not there in the first place, I could have gotten a better angle. And then just go to their backline anyways. It's what I say would be something that you can learn from that scenario. Here you see, right? What if you were up here? Right. Okay, what if you were up here? Oh my god, Junkrat's here. Okay, one blink. I'm here. Jump, shoot a bit, 2 blinks. And now I'm here. Right. So like, the thing is, these guys are really good at controlling these kind of areas. Right. So you're like, okay, if I cannot beat them in terms of what space they are controlling, if I cannot fight them for the space, then you just take what's available, which is here. Right, 1 blink, 2 blink, and now you're here. Maybe you shoot Orisa and see if anyone push you. Maybe you jiggle pick and see if anyone is shooting you. If everyone is shooting you, then you just distract them. Take this health pack here. You have a recall, maybe juke them a bit. And maybe Orisa will die.
Okay.
See? Yeah. Decent idea. Half? Nice. Yeah, good. So like what you let's see, let's try to think about what you did there. So what you did there was you didn't contest the Junkrat for no reason. Alright, no, you didn't you didn't fight someone that you have low confidence in winning. Right. You just took a different angle. Right. Opportunity came, Orisa got low because she got naded. Right.
Yep.
She got pulled. You blink in from a safe position, you pulse, killed her, and fight won. Right. Did you burn your recall? You know what I mean? Like look,
Yeah.
safe position, dangerous, house bomb, safe. Good. Safe.
Yep.
Turn back, help your teammates clean up the fight.
Time, as usual.
So here, this one is good. Decent.
Yeah, so that was definitely the best play for me of this game.
I say it's decent, mostly because, right, sometimes there will be weirdos, okay? Like, you're here, you're like, oh no, it's a Junkrat, alright, you can have the high ground, I'll drop down here. Then I start shooting the Orisa. You know what the Junkrat is going to do? He's going to do this. Dung, 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 dung. He's going to drop down behind you and then shoot you in the back, and you're like, bruh.
Yeah.
You know? It
Sure.
didn't happen,
Yeah.
but it can happen. So
Okay.
sometimes people will just do this to you. So my rule is sometimes I just say, always assume they will push you.
Okay.
Right, because sometimes you even think, well, this guy should not be right here. Well, he's going to get punished. Right. Okay, sure, he gets punished. But if you knew, maybe you wouldn't. If you expected him to push, to do something stupid like that anyways, maybe you could have reacted in time, and he would have died and you wouldn't have died.
Okay.
Alright, see, good. This one, keep distracting. If you're able to distract the tank, just distract as
Okay.
long as you can, right? Because like the priority goes like this. The most valuable target on the team is tank, followed by supports, followed by DPS. So if you're distracting, if your one single DPS is distracting one single tank, that's like so good. Huge value.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, just think about it. If they didn't have Orisa, right, and your team Sigma, he just runs up into people's face and kill them.
Right.
Because he can't die, right? Yeah. Okay. No. Oh, no. Okay, we're back on the flank. Good. Relax. No. Like, he's not even... I don't even know if he's looking at you. Right. Shoot. Like, no reason to run here. Right. Look how low Orisa is. If you continue distracting this Kiriko and maybe even this Life Weaver, because Kiriko says, I need healing, right, then Orisa could have died. But let's see what you do here. This is dangerous. Kiriko behind you. Don't do this.
Okay.
The thing about Tracer is I always, like I said, you cannot die to things that you expect. Because you have blinks, you can get health packs, you have recall. You will only die to things you cannot see, which is this Kiriko right here. One headshot and you're dead. She's even looking at you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
I think there, like, I definitely knew I was in danger, so like I was ready to hit recall. But yeah, I mean, I guess one headshot doesn't allow me to use recall.
I mean, like think about it this way. If you were here instead, like just here, like not even here, right? You didn't have to shoot. Like if we're assuming that you're never gonna kill anyone here, right? Then you're just then you could even just be here, right? If you're here, you're just shooting the Kiriko, right? She hits you once, health pack, here, and then maybe you shoot Junkrat one clip, and then you go back to shooting Kiriko. She turns around, you know, she hits you, you recall, you know, etc., etc. Instead of like being in this position, which is kind of dangerous. And because of a not so good suboptimal position, you wasted your recall.
Okay.
Right. Let's see, why did you feel the need to blink in the middle of everyone? Let's see. I mean, he wasn't even low, right?
Right.
Like, he wasn't low, you didn't need to commit so hard. Yeah. No. Look, your tank is still in. And now he dies.
60 seconds remaining.
Right, another thing I learned, another thing I realized is with this map specifically, because it's so hard to cross this bridge when they have high ground control, right? Sometimes what I would do is I would tell my team, guys, I'm gonna distract them, full distract them, right? And then hopefully my team can walk the bridge for free.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just go, I would go as far as like, like make them chase me, take this health pack, right? Blink here, blink down here, make them chase me around. Just ring around the rosy, then your teammate can cross the bridge for free. I mean, that was something I figured I could do.
Okay.
Alright, very interesting. Oh, the recall.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh no.
30 seconds
Not very good calls.
No.
remaining. Pain is inevitable. 10 seconds
See, maybe I sort of get why you tend to play with your team. Go back to your team because you play Cassidy, right? You're in danger, you go back to your team. You play Soldier, you're in danger, you go back to your team. But that's different with Tracer.
Okay.
You don't always need to go back to your team.
I mean, that makes sense.
Look at how long it took them to kill you. Just imagine, like instead of running away from a flank when you actually have a good flank, you just mess with them. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I even know, like, on my main account, there's no way I would have lasted that long. There's no way.
yeah. There's no way, but you want to get there someday, right? Like, look, I think this game, Kiriko, I don't think Kiriko headshot you once. I don't think you even died to a Kiriko headshot. The one time you died to her, I think, was a body shot.
Yeah, she was definitely getting in my head a little bit because she was telling me to leave her alone. And I'm like, okay, so I'm harassing her, like I'm doing what I should be. But then I was thinking, like, well, I haven't really killed her either. And I was thinking, like, maybe she knows that I'm wasting my time on her. And I don't think I should have. I think I should have stayed on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, you have stayed on that. All right, do you have any questions? It can be any ridiculous question.
I mean, the takeaway, yeah, I think like right off the rip, I didn't use all of my whole kit. I didn't use my resources. Played a little passive. I think I need to stay in the back line more. And I think I also, like, it surprisingly, you pointed out several things like we're just distracting one support would actually stop both supports and somebody else could die. and I've never really realized that. So I think the biggest takeaway is live in the back line a little more, set up in the back, and stay there as long as I can, and position better to where I don't have to use my recall as often.
Mm-hmm. 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 I would say I would say if for me, if anything, I would say like two things to take away is like if you want to do something, like be sure about it. Like this is what I want to do. I want to flank. I'm gonna get on the back line, right? I go
Okay.
and shoot at the back line, right? And don't be like, oh, I want to be on the flank, and then you get spooked by something or you get distracted by something, and then you're like, oh, all the way back to my team, don't do that.
Okay.
And yeah, just have an idea of how you want to play the map. That is one thing that also will help you with a lot of other characters is knowing the maps, knowing how you can play the map based on the enemy, based on your team.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Anything else? Wait, did you say you have a question? No.
Nope. Nope. I think that's no. I think that's about it.
Okay, if you have time, do you still have time?
Yeah, I still have time.
Okay, I can give you a bit of a bonus explanation here. Sometimes, for example, this map. You know this map, the push map.
Yep.
All right. If you're a tracer, for example, you're like, I'm tracer. I want to flank, right? Okay. I'm flanking here. This is the flank route. All right. Boom, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom, boom. Right. I come here. I come here. I come here. Right. This is kind of deep, or like maybe not even deep. This is like far away from help, far away from your teammates. Right. Now,
Yeah.
if you want to access their backline, right here, that's really deep. Right. But at least you have a health pack here. Okay. But especially if you're right here, for example, this is really dangerous, right? Especially if you overcommit, because everyone will look at you. You make a mistake, you die, right? So sometimes what I would do, right, like a little bit of a mind game, I'm tracer, the enemy is tracer. I meet her, right? I meet her here, maybe, right?
Okay.
Or maybe even I meet her here, or wherever it is, right? I just go in, pretend to go in, maybe use 1 or 2 blinks, always save 1 blink extra, shoot the tank a bit, and then I waste my recall. I didn't waste yes, I did waste my recall, which is what I want the enemy tracer to think, that I wasted my recall. And then she's like, oh my god, this tracer just wasted her recall. I'm gonna chase this tracer down, right? Because I can kill this tracer. Right. Now what I'm gonna do is after I recall, I'm gonna press I need healing. I'm gonna blink back to my team. Right. I'm gonna bait him into taking this fight where it's not really winnable for him. Right. Because not only I'm gonna get healed, right? I may have a Kiriko, I may have an Ana that can sleep her, a Kiriko that can headshot her and kill her. Right. Now the mistake I forced out was that the enemy tracer doesn't know how to balance. No, not balance. Is that the enemy tracer tends to overcommit.
Okay.
So that can happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
a bit of a mind games.
Yeah. No, it's pretty smart. When I play this map on Tracer, I usually flank this route, and because it's just like a lane right here, so I don't know what else to do, and I usually just end up poking a bit and then running away. Usually.
Yeah. Because this
I
is
like that.
Mhm.
I like the idea of trying to bait out somebody to chase you.
Yeah. I mean, it's something you definitely can do. I would say as you get higher ranks, when people don't make as obvious mistakes as they do, you need to start playing mind games. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to like do something weird, make the enemy go like, huh, and then they die.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there will be some tracers will do that on this map, for example. Some tracer, I'm not sure, who was it? Craggy, was it? I think Craggy said in this map he preferred to just poke the tank with his team instead of going on a flank because it's just more consistent that way. I can understand that because if you think about it, it's kind of a long flank, and not only that, you know, you're approaching from their front, so everyone know you're there.
Right.
And if you get low, right, if you stay here for more than 3 seconds, you get low, you recall, you end up here. Then you need to go back to your team, which is a long way, right? Or you double blink across into this room, right? But they're gonna chase you because they're like, oh, Tracer, low HP, already used double blink, right? They're gonna chase you, right? Well, unless you're all the way back there, right? But that's kind of deep. You don't really need to be back there unless they have a Widow. So it's kind of not worth it. This seems like an obvious flank route, but it's kind of not worth it considering the fact that if you get low, right, there's no quick way for you to get back your resource.
Okay. So you use
So-
it to like, let's try some cheese out. If it works, and if I get a bait, I get a bait. If I don't, then just move on.
Yeah, you can do that. Or I can just come here, see what's up, right? Maybe shoot the tank a bit, right? Shoot. They look here. I blink across here, right? Shoot the tank. I take this cover on the pillar, and then I shoot up here a bit maybe, and then I blink back here maybe, right? Or if I'm here, I shoot. If you're pushing, I blink here, I shoot, and I blink back here. You know, instead of going for a full flank, right? I'm more of supporting my team with DPS.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what I do here. I forgot. Okay, this fort is for you to watch, and I sort of explain briefly how I'm thinking, so that you can understand better.
Okay.
Stay near my pylon.
See, I know she's there. She knows I saw her being there. So my thinking is either she's gonna fuck off, or she's gonna engage my backline, right?
Okay.
But right now, since she's kind of far away, right? I don't know how many blinks she has. She has 3. So she probably charged up her blinks because she's expecting to fight someone, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna fight her, right? Since she's so far away from the fight, I'm just gonna go in and help my team fight, right?
Okay.
So for example, right here, if I go in and shoot this Doom right now, that's 1 magazine of bullets that I put into her tank, the enemy's tank, right? While the enemy is here, not really doing anything, right?
Okay.
Now, what I could have done differently, I could have either gone in the voice chat and told my teammates there's a Tracer on the flank, or I could have pinged her because I have a Widow,
Okay.
right? So that's what I could have done differently. Now that I see this, it's like right now, look, Doom is feeling pressure, right? If he was in there, I double blink, I shoot him, maybe he's a quarter health right now. And if you see, right, he used pretty much all his cooldowns, and now he has, in 1 second, he will have his fist. Look, if I go in, I can do a lot of damage to him. Now we forced out Kiriko Blink.
Positioning healing pylon.
Now I'm looking at that, okay, anytime now the Tracer will be in our backline. Right, now the thing I want to do is, the thing I'm trying to do here is, I let her think that she can come into my backline, but I'm staying fairly close to my backline, so that when she actually engages on my backline, I will be there to help my backline.
Okay.
Right, and now
That makes
she's really far from her team. She's really far from any health pack. Right, and now she's out of the fight for a while. Alright, now if she triple blinks, try to one clip someone, and she recalls back to this high ground, that is whatever. Right,
Okay.
I can't chase her that way.
Sure.
Does that play make sense?
Yes. No, it does. Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. Like, look, the whole time the enemy is fighting, the enemy Tracer is still on the flank. So in out cover. Angles. Like don't get so hungry for the kill. Or more like you know how you want to push a Hanzo? You're not just gonna run straight into his face, right? You want him to be as distracted as possible.
We're making progress. Let's stay with him.
Healing fire on the wall.
Right. Set up. Crouch walking. Look. In case Tracer chases my Widow, I'm ready to help. She's not chasing. Try to scare her away. Doom uses 2 cooldowns. 3rd cooldown gone. I don't want to fight the Kiriko. So now our tank just died, so we kind of want to back off here. We actually back off a bit too late here. We should have backed off earlier. Okay, now we're back to this. Look, I see her shooting my teammates. Now I'm thinking that she's thinking, alright, I don't think this enemy Tracer wants to fuck with me. Right.
Okay.
So now I know she's thinking like that. Now I'm gonna go behind her and shoot her in the back. Right, and she fucks off. Now, I think my mistake here was that even though I had everything, I should have just like gone straight for this Ana instead of shooting Doom here. Or just challenge the Tracer or just done something. I think my mistake here was just not really doing anything, just shooting the Doom.
Okay. Like one thing for me is when I'm playing against Dive, so you're going into like a Tracer Genji Doom. As Tracer, I've been trying to feel it out, but sometimes I will set up in the back, like anticipating their dive. Is that, do you think that's a good idea? Or do you think I should be in the back line, like how we talked about in the last game, like on Rialto?
In the enemy backline, you mean?
Okay.
Do you mean that? Like either in your own backline or the enemy backline?
Yeah. So should I be, is that a bad place for, me to be as Tracer in our backline waiting for the dive so I could follow up for the protection? Or should I always try to set up in their backline?
I feel like, I mean, of course, I feel like you almost always want to be on the enemy backline because when you think about it this way, right? If the enemy Ana never misses a single heal shot, is the Doom or is the Winston going to die that is going to be diving a team? No, right?
Okay.
So you want to be there to distract the Ana, to stop her from healing your Winston, the enemy Winston, when they're trying to dive your backline. I don't think it's your duty to help kill the backline, anticipating who they're gonna dive and stand beside your Ana to help the Ana fight off a monkey or a Doom. Right. I feel like the only time you would do that is either when you're low on resources, right? You don't really have blinks, you don't have recall, maybe you have 1 blink, so you're sort of in your own team, within your own team, just sort of helping them, not really taking an aggressive position. That,
Okay.
or you literally have nothing else to do.
Okay.
Yeah, because, right, if they're healing the Winston, the Doom, he's never going to die.
That makes sense.
We need to catch up. Just try again.
So now you see, I'm looking at the robot. I want to be where I want to be. And boom, Ana dead. Right, when the fight starts, everyone throws their ult. I go straight for the Ana.
Okay.
Or like, I don't even know the Ana is there, but I know the general area that the Ana will be.
Okay.
Right. So if I would go even as much as saying, if this Ana is ML7, for example, right? he will be expecting this. He'll be like, I cannot be here. Tracer is going to be... he's going to expect Tracer to triple blink and pulse me if I'm standing right here. So what ML7 is going to do is, he's going to stand here.
Okay.
Or even here. Right. Or if he really needs to be here, right, he's going to be prepared to sleep me because he's expecting it. Right. Or he's gonna be somewhere else where I won't know that he's there.
Think you can take? They took the robot. Get it back.
Here, I think this is a mistake from me here. Right. Realistically, when they nano blade, right, you expect your entire team to die, right?
Yeah.
So instead of trying to one clip a nano Genji that's dashing all over the place, or chasing a tracer, right? This should be my target. Right. If my team dies, they die. Nano blade, what can you do? Right. If somehow, right, my team manages to trade a nano blade for like one whatever, right? Or like at the very least, I would have taken out one support and make the fight a lot more winnable instead of me spending the whole time trying to shoot a Genji.
Okay.
That was my mistake as well. And out here, I want to pick up my Mercy, but I guess I didn't have my headphones loud enough. I didn't hear the Tracer footsteps, and I got one clip.
Oh.
Yeah. And my Mercy gets pulsed.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Hate to see it.
Not in my vocabulary.
I mean, you see, like, I can think about all these things post-match, but it's during the match where everything's flying everywhere, everything's happening. That's when it's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I will show you the power of distraction in a bit, I think. Like, see, this guy is smart. I guess he doesn't want me to be here. Because, right, if here I go engage, and then I'm in their backline with post bomb. Or yeah,
Okay.
I mean, sometimes people do that. Like look at this. Why is this Doom doing this, right? Why are you trying to clear a tracer from like this pretty defensive high ground? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes
I mean,
it will happen.
I like typically, you know, I can understand it just because I've been on teams where like a soldier 76 will be up there and nobody will like put any sort of pressure on him and he just stays there forever. So I get at least trying to not make you comfortable there.
Yeah, but I'm a
not let
tracer.
you be- Yeah, that's true. I mean, you will be gone.
It's like it's never worth chasing a tracer. But I mean, this guy
Okay.
doing this, I'm not sure. I don't play Doom. I don't play tank, so I'm not really sure why this happens. Look, he really wants me. I don't know why. Oh yeah, but see, because I didn't waste my recall, I get to do this.
Okay.
Redo?
Ooh, nice.
I can even give you a bonus tip on a Tracer 1v1 that I've been practicing. If you want to.
Sure.
There it is. Look at how lost this Anna is. Right, so her Doom is okay, not dead, but it's like just how strong being on the enemy backline is. Like my tank is here, I'm here, it's over for the Anna.
Yeah.
Recall, watch out. Okay, off angle. Take cover. Looking what's happening. I don't think you can make that jump. Then I realized I wasted all my blinks. So I don't really want to be far away from the fight right now. So I'm like, okay, this is better. Dodge the sleep. Off angle. They don't know I don't have resources. I don't think so. Enemy Tracer chasing me now. I'm purposely ignoring this Tracer. Because this Tracer, as long as my Mercy is healing me, this Tracer will never kill me.
Okay.
Right. I'm just waiting for a good opportunity to use my Pulse Bomb here. Except we threw Pulse Bomb both at the same time, so I actually didn't really notice that the enemy's Pulse Bomb ultimate line went off, and I died to it.
Okay. Unlucky.
Which is crazy. Yeah, which is crazy, but yeah.
I can't remember what alt I didn't hear, but Alari's ultimate voice line is so damn loud that like it overpowered another one, and I ended up dying to it. But I just didn't hear it at all because Alari's was so loud.
I mean, even Junker Queen out is very loud. Okay, now we need to regroup because our support died. See, I want to be somewhere else. Like here. Do you know why I took this punch?
No.
Because I was looking at Tracer. I was distracted by a Tracer.
Okay.
And I got punched in the back. Like, just watch. Right? Right. No Doom. Wait, there's a Tracer underneath us. Huh? Boom, I get punched in the head. Right, if I wasn't looking at this Tracer, let's see what I would have seen. Right, I would have been able to dodge this. Right.
Okay.
Because I saw the punch coming. So what I'm trying to get to here is like, do not underestimate distraction.
Okay.
Right. That's why I took this punch right here. Because this Tracer was here. Yeah. That's the power of distraction. And that forced out my recall before the fight begins. Now just living in their backline. Ilaria just doing her thing. Then this pretty much just clean up. So most of the time I'm shooting Doom when there's not much to do. But when I have the chance, it's always backline. It's where I want to get to. So right here I'm scouting, I'm thinking. Okay, they have an Echo. Support my tank. Go on their backline. Look, I ignored the Doom. Because backline.
Yeah.
See, I know where I want to go to, or more like I know where I want to back off to. Right. I back off here.
Okay.
Right. Because payload just went this way, there's a high chance I can receive support here. I don't really want to back off here. Like, yeah, there's a help back here, but it's kind of far. And it's like you don't really have cover here. Okay, I guess you do. But it's difficult to receive help here, I guess. I don't know. It's like in other words, you can just say like a safe position, medium position, very, very dangerous position. Do what I want to do. If I don't see the opportunity, recall, get back to safe position, and no need to mess up anything.
Ooh.
Approaching the final.
Also, another thing you can think of when playing against dive is, right, for example, they have a Winston. If you keep pressuring the Winston as Tracer and he cannot get rid of you, right, and he's half HP, he will never dive your backline.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because I play a little bit of Winston, and I'm not a very good tank, but it's frustrating when you have to use shield because you went to half HP and now you can't do anything for 10 seconds.
Yes, exactly. So
H.
as Tracer, you have enough mobility and enough damage to actually annoy Winstons enough that they just cannot dive. Because you keep shooting them and they're like half HP all the time. You force out a bubble, it's over for him. 8 seconds, he cannot do anything. But I think I don't know. This replay is not so good. I don't know. I think it shows more of support DPS Tracer rather than like I make my own play Tracer. But that's just how it is these days with Tracer. You really cannot do too much on your own. You need to play with your tank. Like, who is stopping my tank from doing anything right now? I need to go and get rid of that, or I need to go and help my team get rid of the thing of the thing that's stopping my tank from doing anything.
Okay. So just get an idea of what your tank wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's just harassing your tank. Or would you just say really go for the supports? So your tank can probably just kill the DPS maybe. I'm not sure.
Can you repeat? You got cut off for
So-
like 15 seconds.
Oh, so you said, support your tank and whatever your tank wants to do by, stopping whatever's stopping them. So, most of our conversation was, being in the back line, harassing supports. Is there anything else other than that? Or, you just try to see, like, even if it's a DPS or another tank, you harass them then if they're what's stopping your tank.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I kind of get your question. So you're like, how do I know if I'm supposed to go into the back line or I'm supposed to help my tank?
Right. Correct. Yes.
Okay. You need to think a bit deeper, I think. It's like this, right? If the enemy is an Orisa and your team has your teammate is a Winston and you are, wait, let me see. If you're a Winston and you're a Tracer, right? This is pretty obvious. You have Winston, you're a Tracer, you can dive Orisa's backline, right? In this case,
Sure.
right, even if Orisa is strong against Winston, but if your Winston is not trying to fight the Orisa, right, you don't need to shoot the Orisa, right? You don't need to go for the Orisa. You can just go for her backline, right? But in the scenario where it's like, for example, Orisa versus Orisa, right? So your tank is your Orisa is not really going to be able to walk past the enemy Orisa and go to the back line, right? So
Right.
in that scenario, it's almost as if you need to get rid of this enemy Orisa so that your Orisa can move forward, right? Or at least make the enemy Orisa low so that she backs off and your tank can take space. Okay. So,
Okay.
but how now that comes to the question: how do you weaken an Orisa, or how do you deal, or how do you? What is the most effective way to make an Orisa weak, so to say?
It would-
Is by getting rid of a healing.
Okay.
Right, in that's the scenario. Okay, now if for example enemy is a Winston, your teammate is an Orisa, right? So for example, if you think about it this way, my Orisa wants to walk forward. She can walk forward as long as there is a backline to support her. All right. So when do I not have a backline that can support my Orisa? It's when my Winston jumps in. No, it's when the enemy Winston jumps into my backline, right? So
Okay.
now that's why you think, okay, well, instead of camping on my own backline and waiting for the jump to happen, maybe I just pressure the enemy Winston and prevent the dive from happening in the first place, right? And now because
Okay.
there is no tank to face Orisa and Winston is constantly just half HP, right? And my Orisa is like, sweet, everything's so free. And she keeps walking forward. She keeps spearing the enemy tank. You know, he keeps getting low HP. You know, you can see how it starts to get rolled, like, how does that called?
Like
It starts
steamrolled
rolling.
or yes,
Yeah,
snowball
it
effect.
starts rolling. Yeah, sort of like a snowball effect. But I can give you even another example: Ryan versus Ryan. All right, Ryan versus
Okay.
Ryan is all about who has more resource, right? Which Ryan got more healing? Which Ryan got more shield, right? If you don't take away their healing, they can swing forever, right? And when they get low, they just hold their shield, they back off to the corner. So to fight Ryan versus Ryan, you can do either two things. Either of the two things. You can either get a good off angle, constantly shoot the enemy Ryan in the back. Every time you shoot, 240 damage, 240 damage, 240 damage. But if the enemy tracer is not doing, or like the enemy is not doing that, right, then your Ryan with time will have more health than the enemy Ryan, and the enemy Ryan will back off. Then your tank can take space, right?
Okay.
Or if you don't want to shoot him in the back, you can just, okay, well, maybe I just go to the back line and shoot the Anna and Sand instead, right? Then that way I can make the enemy Ryan have less resource than my Ryan, right? These are two ways that you can do, two things that you can do to help your tank in this scenario, for example. Now the question is, well, which one do I do, right? I will tell you right now, right? This applies to every single decision you make in Overwatch, okay? There is no right or wrong decision. There is a more efficient or a less efficient way to achieve what you want to do in Overwatch. All right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So, for example, if the enemy backline is Life Weaver Break, for example, right? Like, if nobody else is pressuring the Break and Life Weaver with you, you're not going to kill them. Especially not with like a Cassidy in the backline as well. So in that scenario, I'm just gonna sit at a good off angle and just putting clip after clip into the enemy Ryan. Right. If I ever see an opportunity, backline instantly. That's the fastest way to kill a tank. Otherwise, if the backline is unkillable, right, then I will just put clip after clip after clip into the enemy's back and the Ryan's back. But what if you say, well, what about distracting? Maybe you can distract the enemy support, right? But see, the way I see this is, right, when you try to assassinate a Life Weaver, what happens? He just puts a petal and it's over.
Right.
Right. Right. You try to harass a Brick, she holds up a shield, you know, you overstay your welcome, you try to break the shield, you try to kill the Brick, it takes too long and it's too risky. Right. Now, another thing you can consider when making your decisions is risk management. For example, like low risk, wait, let me think. A low risk, high reward is always good, right? Low risk, medium reward is like okay. Low risk, low reward is like not really good. So in any way, you always want either like medium reward or high reward, right? And ideally, you want to minimize your risk, right? So if it's
Okay.
like a high risk, low reward, that's not a good decision to make. For example, right, Brig, let me think. Brig, Life Weaver, Cassidy in the back line, right? How you gonna like you're number one, you're not gonna want like there may be a chance you can one clip Cassidy, right? But if he's aware of you and he's moving correctly, you're not gonna one clip him. You're not gonna one clip a Brig. You're not gonna like, especially if they see you coming, you're not gonna consistently one clip a Life Weaver. So it's like the reward is high if you can get the reward, right? But it's very,
Okay.
very unlikely. But the risk is also very high, right? The risk is also very high where the Cassidy can just shoot you in the head and then you have to use your recall and it's over. Or you overstay your welcome, you die. Because the backline is just so difficult to kill, but yet they are so easily it's so easy for them to survive and like you can die to just anything. So it's like in that scenario, it's like a high risk, a very small chance for a high reward. But then in that way, you can just say it's like a low reward. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well, I mean, the risk is just really the risk is. Yeah, it does make sense to me. It does make sense to me. I want to put a word to it, but there's just no reason to. I get it. I definitely.
Yeah, you get it right. Like I mean, I feel like in Overwatch is a really interesting game. You can really think about it from a lot of different ways.
No, that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
Because like the rules of the game and all of the heroes and how they add up to what you should and shouldn't do is very interesting.
Does that okay? So that was your question. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah, it does.
Okay. So sometimes you might not be able to think it like that right in the game when everything's going on, but I want to say don't worry about it. As you play more game, you will start to see patterns. When you see patterns, you start to learn and you start to identify the signs. So that next time when you see, okay, my team's Orisa, enemy team's Winston, I pressure Winston, for example. Right.
Right.
Any other questions?
I don't think so. I did. Well, I'm just curious. What rank was that game we just watched?
This
It moved
one,
very fast. Yes.
Master 5.
Okay. It just moved very fast. Faster than normal. Like.
Oh, you mean like
rank.
when the fight starts, it starts.
Yeah, and it feels like when you're away from the fight, you're not really away from the fight. There's just a lot of pressure. So it's just curious.
I mean, when I'm playing Tracer, I'm just stuck at Diamond 2. But then again, I think that this season is not very good for Tracer. Especially with the Iliari and all of these things that can kill you in one shot. So actually, I don't know what my rank would be in other seasons, but in the current seasons, it's Diamond 2. I mean, I still have a lot of things to fix, right? But I've even seen a lot of higher rank players that one trick Tracer, especially if they are not very experienced. They just drop rank because like this season is just not good for Tracer. Right?
Yeah.
There are maps and there are comps that you can play Tracer into, but a lot of the times, how are you gonna fight Baptiste, Iliari, what else? Hanzo, Orisa, Mei. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, even for me, there's even Kirko, Farah, Odri.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Helix rockets just destroy you. There's so many characters where I feel like you just have no time, or at least I have no time. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But I would say if there's anything that can help you, is minimizing the amount of people you expose yourself to. You know, you
Okay.
are consciously taking cover from people you don't want to expose yourself to, and only exposing yourself to the person you want to fight, right? And yeah,
Okay.
take cover and like have a general idea of where everyone is, right? Or like when you see the fight going on, it should be, you know, snap of a finger, and you know where you want to be, to do pressure as tracer. Yeah,
Okay.
that would
Yeah.
be really important. You need to have the spider sense, you know.
Yeah. No question. But I think the idea of more pressure on the back line, and you help me understand how that can end up helping my team get a kill, or maybe I just thought, okay, I'm not doing anything. I'm getting carried by my team because they got the picks. But you help me understand how I actually contributed to that by being a distraction. Um, so being more aggressive in the back line,
Mm-hmm.
also helping enable my tank if you're playing support tracer, which is kind of what when every game has an Alari and Hanzo these days, which it seems like you kind of have to do. Can't stick around too long or peek too aggressively. So support your tank, enable your tank in whatever they're trying to do. I think those
Mm-hmm.
are
Mm-hmm.
those are
Mm-hmm.
good things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the really important. I mean, where it comes. Wait. Let me see. Let me think. How do I put it? Where the skill starts to show is that how creative you are at taking angles when you're playing a support tracer. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like if you see, let me think. If you see awkward, right? He's really good at using cover and maneuvering around the fight. Like he's running away from someone, distracting another person, and fighting one more person. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his ability to know the enemy cooldowns and where he is allowed to be because of that is high.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why he's good, I guess. But I would say, yes, it's simple. I mean, it's simple in terms of don't be afraid, but it's not that simple.
No, I mean that's where where I would run away in my VOD, where I'm running away like frantically, and you're like, oh, you don't need to run away that quick. Um, that's me thinking that if I don't, I'm gonna die because I don't have that space, and so need to I think be more aggressive, maybe die a little bit to learn that more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not even. How do I put this? Right. Okay. You have like like when you're behind at shooting a Kiriko, like you literally have recall 3 blinks. You know, like just go in, mess with her. Worst case, you distract her for a bit. Best case, you kill her. Right. And
Right.
if you're so afraid of dying to her, right, then like just she turns this way, you blink behind her, you 180, you shoot a bit. As soon as she turns, you give her another 180. She turns, you 180 again. She turns, you 180 again. Right, that's 4 blinks because like nobody. Like for example, if you blink every 1 second, then you should have 4 blinks because you use 3 blinks blink around her. Then you have 4 blinks. Then after that, if the fight is still not over, you recall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So it's like, yeah, you don't have to be afraid. Even like if she's not looking at you, she's not gonna kill you. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I appreciate your time. That was a little. It was eye opening for sure. So
Yeah, a little long, but I hope I open some doors for you when it comes to thinking about how to play Tracer.
Yeah, I think you did. At least some new things to try, some new positions to try. So for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good, good, good. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Before you go, what I would require from you. Okay, I mean, it's not money. I just want to know how your games have progressed. You know what I mean? I want to know how you're doing. I want to know if what I'm teaching is effective and whether or not there's something I can fix in the way I'm teaching
Sure.
to help
Sure.
people. So like you can leave me a review as well on Discord, so I can keep it and let other people know how well you're doing or how you have learned. So basically, two things, like a review, a short text or something, and like as you play more games, how do you feel? Whether you rank up or not. You know, and if you have any questions, you can just send me a Discord. Just send me a DM.
Okay. How do I leave you a review on Discord?
Okay. For now, I actually don't have a page or anything yet. So what I do
Okay.
is I just ask people to send like a message on like a Discord, and I will just screenshot it.
Oh, okay, sure. Sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I will play a little bit, take in what you've said, and then I'll say something about it. I mean, it'll be nice because it was nice, and I'm even if I'm not climbing the ranks immediately, it's appreciated, and I think it'll help me. So I'll definitely keep you informed on how it's helping for your sake, to help you, and I will definitely write a little something for you.
All right, good. I'll try to upload the video as quick as possible so you can refer if you want to, and I
Okay.
will give you the link.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, good. Thank you for your time. Uh,
Oh, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
yeah, you too, man. All right, bye.